In the ancient days, when the world was still young and wisdom walked the earth as a silent river, a seeker stood at the edge of a vast and flowing current. This river was unlike any other, for it was said to hold the essence of all that was needed to navigate life. Its waters shimmered with hues of time and place, vision and belief, connection and mission. But to the unwise, its depths were hidden, and its flow seemed chaotic. The seeker knelt by the river bank, yearning for answers. A voice, gentle yet resonant, rose from the flowing waters.
Child of the earth, you seek what is already here. The time has always been now, the place is always where you stand, and the vision is within your soul. You need only see with the eyes of faith and listen with the ears of understanding.
The seeker asked, "How shall I find what I seek? How can I move with purpose, yet without struggle?" The river rippled, forming an image of a mighty tree with roots deep in the earth and branches stretching toward the heavens. It spoke again.
Discover what has always been. Your time is not fleeting but eternal, your place is not fixed but chosen. Swim in my waters not as one who fights the current, but as one who trusts its path. For I, the river, know where I go, and my course is set by the hand of the Creator.
Moved by the wisdom of the river, the seeker waded into its depths. With each stroke, he released fear and embraced trust, his heart aligning with the flow. The river carried him effortlessly, weaving him into its eternal story. He no longer sought, for he had found that all he needed was already within and around him. Thus, the seeker became the swimmer, a living testament to the divine truth. When we align with the eternal flow of time, place, and purpose, we are guided by forces greater than ourselves. The river continues its journey, carrying those who dare to trust into the vastness of destiny, for it is written in the currents of life that the river knows where it is going. The seeker, now a swimmer, moved effortlessly within the embrace of the river, his heart in harmony with its eternal flow. Yet, as the current deepened, the river grew darker, its once shimmering hues now veiled in shadow. The air thickened, and the waters became colder, laced with whispers that spoke of forgotten realms and ancient secrets. Ahead, the swimmer saw a towering figure rising from the depths. It was a god, immense and formidable, as tall as a redwood tree and composed entirely of water. The being's form shimmered and shifted, its face a cascade of torrents, its limbs rippling with the strength of tidal waves. This was Styxios, the guardian of the threshold, the god of the river and protector of the veil between worlds. The swimmer hesitated, his heart quickening, for he recognized the sanctity of this moment. Styxios gazed down, its voice a thunderous roar yet as fluid as a babbling brook.
Mortal,
the god intoned,
you have swum far, but this is the barrier between the known and the unknown, the living and the eternal. None pass here without purpose, and none cross without my leave. Speak, then, what is it you seek, and why do you approach the edge of existence?
The swimmer, trembling yet resolute, bowed his head. Great Styxios, I seek not to cross the veil, but to understand the flow of life. I wish to know how to move without resistance, to trust the current as it carries me through time, place, and destiny. The god's form rippled with contemplation.
To swim in the river of life is one thing, mortal.
But to approach this boundary is to confront the truth of all existence, the eternal cycle of beginnings and endings, life and death. Are you prepared to face what lies beneath your questions?
Are you ready to see what lies within yourself?
The swimmer, though afraid, nodded. I am. Styxios raised a massive arm, and the waters surrounding the swimmer began to churn, forming a vortex. In its center, visions appeared, of time unfolding like a scroll, of places both familiar and alien, of connections made and lost, of missions fulfilled and abandoned. The swimmer saw his own reflection, shifting and changing, embodying each aspect of his journey. The god's voice broke through the storm of images.
What you seek is not in the river, for the river is only a guide. What you seek lies in your surrender. Trust in the flow, not as one who hopes to control it, but as one who becomes it. Only then will you swim with the ease of the eternal current.
The swimmer, overwhelmed yet enlightened, fell to his knees in the waters. He felt the river pulse through his being, its current no longer outside him but within. He was the river, and the river was him. Styxios, seeing the transformation, nodded solemnly.
You have seen the truth, mortal.
Return to your world and carry this knowledge with you.
Know that I guard this threshold not as a gatekeeper, but as a reminder that all who approach must confront themselves.
For those who truly swim the river shall never fear its end, for they know it flows into eternity.
With a mighty wave of its arm, Styxios sent the swimmer gently back into the current, his heart light and his spirit awakened. He returned to the world not as a seeker, but as a living current, forever in harmony with the flow of life and the mysteries of the unseen. And so the river continued its eternal course, a silent promise of the balance between worlds, guarded by the towering god of water who stood at the edge of all existence.